Welcome back to In the Mountains. Spring has been rainy and cold in the mountains, well into June. Finally, here on the land, the sun is shining and the temperatures have warmed considerably. I've been breaking up quite a bit of biochar with the tip of the shovel here and the wheelbarrow. I've been making my own DIY soil mixture using homemade compost here and this biochar. I'm smashing the biochar up considerably with the tip of the shovel before I mix it with the compost, and that will be ready to put in containers. I've had the most success growing in containers, so I'm going to focus a lot of my early efforts in this growing season to getting the containers planted. The compost pile lies at the back of the property. I've been building this compost throughout the dormant seasons. If there is one fatal flaw to this piece of land, it is that mountain behind it. It is a gift and it is a curse. The curse of that mountain is the fact that during the winter months, it blocks just about all of the sunlight there in the south. In January and February, the light barely shines in, making it really difficult to grow food year-round, off-grid, here in the mountains. The compost pile has been in this location for several years now. I add quite a bit of food scraps to the compost pile, wood chips, a lot of green material, ash, and even some biochar. It provides me with all the nutrients I need early on in this growing season to get me going. It is important that the biochar compost mixture is mixed thoroughly, so the biochar is evenly distributed throughout the medium before it goes into the containers. I've been using the biochar compost soil mixture in all aspects of my growing this spring, from seedling starting flats to small containers like these to 5 to 50 gallon fabric pots. It's been my go-to mixture. Depending on where I'm getting the compost from the compost pile, the composition can change a little bit, but overall it seems like it's a decent mixture to get things started. The price is right. It's completely homemade and sustainable here on the land. In the smaller containers, I will plant some gold nugget tomatoes. I also have some Cherokee purple tomato starts that I did in Jiffy peat pellets. I've been doing quite a bit of planting in those and have had great success with them. I really like how they reduce the transplant shock overall. The peat pellets also hold quite a bit of water, but not too much. And for seeds and seedling starting, I've really kind of enjoyed using them so far. They do cost a little bit of money, and I have ordered some and have found some locally. And just planting some of those peat pellets I was referring to, that is a gold nugget hybrid tomato in a smaller Jiffy peat pellet. As you notice, I also have the larger ones. They work really well, establishing really deep roots early in the grow cycle. On this table I have some of the flats and starts and seedlings that I've been propagating so far this spring. Some indoors, mostly all indoors, and some of these have been out for a while. Those are marigolds right there. I have a flat of kale, several different varieties of tomatoes. We have Cherokee purple heirloom, we have a gold nugget hybrid, there's sunflowers, different brassica, a flat of red chard, Swiss, I believe, and spinach flat. There are cabbage, broccoli, and lots of kale planted in the larger pots here, ranging from 5 to 50 gallons. I've kind of crammed quite a bit in the 50-gallon pots. This is my local homegrown variety that I've overwintered and kept growing and breeding for a few years now. It is a tough overwintered variety, and most all the kale planted in these pots here are in the biochar mixture, the exception being that big pot there that doesn't have as much of the biochar mixture, but just about everything else pictured here has biochar. There's some spinach, tomatoes, kale. So it's still early in the season and we're getting things mixed up, but we've got a lot of good things growing food-wise here on the homestead. I'm gonna mix up another batch of the biochar compost mix. I'm not doing exact measurements here. I'm just kind of doing a approximate mixture and making sure I break up that biochar at least a little bit. This is going to go into some larger pots, I think 5 and 10 gallons, and I'm going to put some more Cherokee purple heirloom tomatoes in those containers with this particular batch of soil mixture. So this Cherokee Purple heirloom is in one of the larger Jiffy pellets. I highly recommend them. They have the ability to grow deeper roots than the shorter ones, and the transplant shock is minimalized with them.